Here I am again doing another video on how to do things. This thing is how to do a backup. Now most people probably already do backups and do them maybe successfully, but there's an easier way of doing a backup and sometimes quicker and faster than using a backup program or specialized backup program or just copying all the files from one device to another. I say that because what I do is I do a backup quite often, and I have a web server, which I'll show you my web page now. Okay, which is, whoops, that's it. That's my web page, my main start web page, and what I do is I only edit this web page every now and then. However, I've been doing that over a number of years and I've got over 1,000 pages on the web page. So what I could do is every couple of days I could say copy these 1,000 pages to another device. All right? However, to do that, it means I have to then go through and it'll show me which file it'll go. So say these items have or have not been copied, right? And it'll say, do you want to replace them? And I can say yes to all of them, in which case it's going to replace all the files, which take a long while to do. However, you can use some specialized backup program that does that. But rather than doing that, I've got a better idea. I'll show you what it is. The file system that you use on a computer depends on the device you're using. I'm using CX File Explorer, which isn't coming up. I'll go to the main menu and call up CX File Explorer. Where is it? There it is. Okay. On this phone. Actually, I'm doing this on a phone. Whether you're doing it on a phone or a computer doesn't really matter. All right. On a computer, a Windows computer, you use Windows File Manager. I'll show you what a File Manager screen looks like in a minute. But on here, I'm using CX File Explorer, and I'm going to copy some of those 1,000 files to another device, another computer, actual fact, right? Okay, I know where those files are. They're on this, by the way, this little thing at the top here keeps a record of all the last files that I've accessed in CX File Explorer. It's a little bit like your favorites in Windows Explorer. So this is the computer-wide backup to. No, that's not it. Go back to another one. This is the computer-wide backup to, right? And on this particular computer, it has, you'll notice, down on a column there, a whole lot of dates. In fact, I can switch it so it doesn't show or does show the dates. On Windows Explorer, if you're using Windows Explorer to do things, right, you'll have a screen that looks something like this, right? There's a Windows Explorer screen, and you'll have a list of files, and the file type, the file size, the file type, right, depending on how you've set it up, and also this one just over the right here, the date. If you touch the top of that heading for date, right, it'll sort all those files into date order. If you touch the heading for date, again, the word date, it'll put them in reverse file order. So in file order, I'll have the youngest ones usually to the oldest ones. And if you touch it again, it will show the oldest ones to the youngest ones. Now that's a clue for you because you can then foresee which files have got what dates, and that date is usually the date modified, the date that that file was last modified. So in the case of if you're working on a file or creating files and that, the ones that were created last or modified last will appear at the top of probably the bottom of the list. So you want to reverse it, so you touch it again and put it so they appear at the top of the list. This is what happens with this thing here, and you'll see there we are. I've got various dates there. For example, you notice some dates there, the 19th, the 19th, the 19th, the 17th of November. Okay, whoops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so any file system you use, whether it be on a phone, a Mac computer, a PC using Windows Explorer, will have some sort of file system that shows you dates, right? You can look at the dates in a folder and see which ones were the latest ones just by reversing it. By the way, I'll just do that one here. You'll notice they're in, that's the one that puts all the folders at the top first and then the files. I'm just going to change this particular one, and I'm going to put it into, instead of date order, I'm going to put it into name order. There we are. So this one here, this file called 0111, whatever it's called, whoops, I didn't want to go into it, okay, was done on the 19th September 2011. So if I went right to the bottom of the list of 1,000 items, which I could do, there we are. There's the sums that were done on the, no, that's not right. I don't know why. Right, in reverse date order. Don't know. Anyway, let's change it again, and we'll put it in rather than name order. Oh, it's name order, sorry, not date order. We'll put it in because that's one started with Z. Right, I'm going to put it in now reverse date order. Now, the last one, the last file that's been created or modified is shown up there, and it's on the 19th of November. And today, by the way, happens to be the 19th of November. So I actually created that file today, all right, or modified that file today. Okay, so you can see, you can look at that, but you don't even have to do that, because what happens with files is if you modify a file in a folder, and that it will record on the folder the date and of that folder was last had a file changed on it. For example, if I go back here now, back to my data screen, which is the folder before that, and these files are all in one called, where is it, pages, right? Pages there. You'll notice it says 17th of November. So that's the last time that that any file in that folder was updated. It was done on the 17th of November. So I can see in this file, in this particular device, which happens to be another computer, or this particular backup, that's when the last thing was done on that particular folder. So if I now go to my file server, which is that one, or my web server, which is that one, go there, I can look and said, okay, this one has got some that were done on the 19th of November. So that one, and that one were all done on the 19th of November. So they're, of the 1,000 files that I've got, 1,000 odd files, they're the only ones that I need to copy, because all the other ones have been copied. And if they had been changed, they would move up to the top of the list in this reverse date order file. So I'll just simply say I want to copy, which is down here. Okay, I say copy. It says, what do you want to copy it to? So I'll just jump back here to the other computer, right, which is 200, that one. Okay, and all I do is, and I go into pages, where my pages are. I've got to make sure I'm in the right place. Yes, hold on. Wiki page backup, there we are. And then I simply say paste. And it'll come up and say, because these files have already been pasted, do you want to overwrite them? And do you want to apply it to all? I can do that, because if I was doing it to 1,000, I would do it for the whole 1,000. I'm only doing it for 3. I'm going to overwrite it. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Done for the 3 files. So I've done my backup. So I've done my backup for today. It only took 3 files, because they're the only files I've changed. Obviously, if the files are bigger, it would take longer time. Okay, that's basically it. So all I'm saying is, if you're doing backups, right, and you're doing in a Windows file system, all you got to do on a phone, I've just shown how to do it in a Windows file system. All you do is make sure you put them in date order, or look at the folder date. You'll notice each of these folders have a date on them as well. I can't slide this across because it's just a static screen. And you can see which files you've actually got to copy, and you don't have to copy all the files. Typically, files don't get copied, don't need to be changed. For example, photos, once you take a photo, you put it on, you don't need to take the photo again. Emails up to a certain date. If you've got your emails separated, like I do, into years, I only have to copy the latest years with their emails. So if I've got 10 years of previous emails, they don't ever change, so I don't need to copy them. If you've actually had a list of all your emails, you can only do it for the emails that have changed, but you can't do that with emails. Okay, any questions, ask me, but that's about it, I think. All right, I shall switch this off. Bye.